Podcast.
Welcome to the Scene Snobs Podcast, the 5th anniversary episode, October 6th, 2019 to our, and now we're on October 8th. Of course, we started that trend. We start on a Tuesday. We've always stayed on Tuesdays. We've always had an episode come out on a Tuesday ever since. And that's so for me, it was more logical instead of doing this Sunday to do it on Tuesday. So this is our 5th anniversary episode, and I'm so mind boggled and crazy. Like, I swear to God, today was cursed. It really was. Seems like I was stepping on landmines everywhere, like kind of like shut me down here, shut me down there. Oh, I had to do this. I had to run over here, do this. And it was taking me away from the work I had to do to get this ready and prep. And it was making me more and more anxious and nervous. And I was like, So, yeah, but I'm here and it's on and we're live and you're watching. And it's been 5 years. It's been oh my God, man. You ever just say something with the realization just hits you in the face with a brick? Not that I did this for 5 years. I've been on other shows where Mystery Elephant, we were 6 years. I've run the gamut with these before. It's 3 years of Mario Likes Movies. So it's not like the 5 years is, but this is something I built after Mystery Elephant left. We left that and we separated. I wanted to start something on my own and run it how I wanted to and celebrate movies I wanted to celebrate and people and geek stuff that I wanted to celebrate. And it's been 5 years of doing that. And it's been a crazy ass ride along the way. Super wild. I've had some amazing help along the way. So many to thank. And I want to put out a huge thank you to all of you. And I just appreciate all the help you did in building this. But I really want to take a moment in the first few minutes of this episode to, with all this crazy stuff, I was always chasing numbers and wanting to do this or wanting to grow, not for any accolades or fame or anything, because I love this. I just love doing this. I want to make this my thing, what I do. And so I always tried to work hard at it and build and build and build. And I've always hoped I've been more entertaining on the shows and kept things going. And you guys keep coming back. We built the Snob Nation community and so many great people that I've connected with over the years that have made this, out of all the craziness and all the insane things we've all been through. But for me personally, just like all the craziness over the last 5 years, that's just been so wild. It's got my head spinning, even thinking about it. The joys, the traumas, everything in between. It's at here. I made it to 5 years. My plan wasn't to do this for only 5 years, but that I would at least make it to, that I could build this to that. And, I thought about it and I thought about the numbers in this, but it's not about that. And I'm so fed up. I hate looking at that stuff. It's about you guys. It's your voices. It's the people who come out here. It's people on the Patreon supporting it. It's the people on the Discord. It's the people in the social media. It's the people in here. It's not any one thing or another. I love doing this show. I love building this channel. It's just been one of the biggest joys of my life because I've gotten to meet so many amazing people. And that's why I'm doing this right now. I want to say I could not have done any of it without you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to all of you watching, listening. It means the world to me that I started this. I didn't know. I was just the third mic on those other shows. I didn't really run anything. And then I started this and I was like, I'm going to do it and I can do it. And I'm doing it. And thank you for being there along the way. I want to bring on my amazing co-host, one of my many amazing co-hosts, especially Casey, one of my longtime co-hosts. I want to say thank you to for all the success that he helped build towards. So put that out there. And I also want to bring on my wonderful partner in crime now, Mr. Paul, producer Paul. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man.
Was that too sappy? Should I cut that out?
I thought it was perfect. I thought it was good. Yeah.
I mean, you kind of got me too sappy before the show.
You're welcome.
Do you want to tell them? Because it hurt me.
I might have made a joke to Mick, and Mick took it for real and thought I didn't know who Inspector Gadget was. And his ageism kicked in, and he realized, fuck, I'm old.
Well, you know what else? No, you got to start. First, you got to build a story, man. You got to get a little epilogue going. So, so Paul is like adjusting his watch, right? And he's got it up here, and it's like a peach color or an orange, or
it's orange.
Orange. So it's like orange. So it reminded me. It looked like he was talking into it, and it reminded me. And I realized the entirety is probably muffled that I said that because I had my face covered. But whatever. So you had to. He was wearing it. I'm like, he looked like Penny talking into her watch from Inspector Gadget. And I was like, oh man, that reminds me. And from Inspector Gadget, and he goes, "What's that?" And I'm like, I thought you didn't know who Penny was or that she had a watch. You don't know who Inspector Gadget is? And he let me go on for, I ranted for maybe 2 minutes before you were like, I know who he is.
Yeah.
I know who he is. So that was pretty good. I appreciate you doing that.
You.
And we got the live, and we got people in the comments. So I want to bring them on, and I just read one of them and made me laugh. Good evening, my beautiful friends. Hope you all are doing well. Brian, thank you. Hope you're doing well, man. The Bull Durham himself hanging out with us. I look at my Godzilla fondly from across the room, and I appreciate it always. And Derpy, what's up, man? Thank you.
What's up, Derp?
Not you, Paul. The beard. Not even me. Just the beard.
That's
just the beard.
I respect that. Good choice, Derpy.
Hey, how you doing? Happy snob anniversary. Why didn't I?
Thank you.
God, I put snob on everything, and I didn't think snob anniversary. Where were you?
That's why you have Mrs. Scene Snob to help remind you of what's up.
To remind me of what I didn't do.
Yeah, because your producer does a shit job at it. So your Mrs. Snob is like, I got this.
That's true, thanks, producer Mary. Paul. Find out what other words you can put snob on.
Ooh.
Hey, Sam. Thank you for watching. Jason's here. Jason's going to jump down the Salem's Lot well that I sent us on.
Is he? Heck yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering, and he says happy anniversary. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. And they just celebrated this year 10 years. So go check out Three Geeks Podcast.
Congratulations, Jason.
Thank you, James. Appreciate you. Go check out James too. He's awesome. And Turpy loves you. Turpy loves you, Paul. See? Told you. And we have a lot of sex. Dude, we should try that.
You should have seen me when I hopped on without my shirt on because I wasn't dressed yet.
You were. You're pretty sexy.
This way.
Use the other hand. Okay, we love you. Thank you for watching.
Yes.
Dude, I feel like we nailed that. And everybody listening, that was a heart. Aimed at you. Who got you? Who got who? Oh,
well, he got me wet, but I got him sappy. It's a give and take.
Jesus, Paul. I missed that one, but I am. Oh, thank goodness. Happy 5 from Radar. What's going on?
Radar. I hope you're doing good, man.
Thank you, guys. And thank you from the Video Store Clerks podcast. They're awesome, too. I love being on their show. It's a great vibe. The whole thing is always fun. And I wish I could do it more, and I will. I do not have the time, especially in October. It's just every day is something. But you know what happened to me this weekend?
What happened to you this
weekend? I did something I haven't done in 5 years.
Hell yeah. Started drinking.
Listen, I don't drink that fast anymore. I'll have a margarita sometimes.
Okay.
Like I listen, man. I don't. Here's the thing. We need to talk about you. This is going to be an intervention for Paul. It's a 5-year intervention.
Oh, no, you're going to call me out.
I'm going to exercise the demons in Paul today. Release him, Jack Daniels. Release him, Jamathan.
Oh shit.
Does that come off as like Southern like evangelist?
Yes.
Release them. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I was going for that. So
You should tap that Bible on your head while you're saying it, but yes.
Oh my release this Guatemalan boy from I don't know why that reminded me, but I do want to say I lived in Florida for a few years, and it just reminded me with everything going on, Hurricane Milton. Everyone, we wish you the absolute, like, with thoughts and prayers, the best. We're praying for you. We're going to, of course, donate to charities that will help and things. I want to try and actually with Helene and Milton now, see if maybe we can get a fundraiser going for Casters for a Cause. So any of my fellow podcasters watching or listening, head up the Scene Snobs. Let's get this going. Maybe next month. You're already in. Yes. You're already in. You're going to have to take the day off because that's going to be a long one.
Like the towel boy. I'm always going to be there. Might not play.
Oh, my God.
Damn it, coach. I'm here.
So if we ever, and I'm not saying we're going to, if we ever did, Jason's in. Sweet. Thank you, very good. Well, I don't want to assume. I don't assume I don't like to assume anyone wants to join in or do the show. Look, I didn't assume anyone wanted to be a part of the 5th anniversary episode, so I didn't ask anybody, and nobody offered. And I'm okay with that because for the 5 years I've been doing this, I don't assume. And I think most people think that I just hate them. And I don't, but I just don't ask for anything. You know what I mean? Like, listen, it's probably a flaw. It's probably a huge mental health red flag or something, but I just don't. There's so many crazy things, but I'm not hateful. I'm not. After 5 years, I'm going to be a big old teddy bear now. I can relax. This past weekend, I got to relax. I got sick. I got a kidney stone, and it put me down. Yeah. So I had to relax, dude. I was just in bed. Something for the pet. Even when I had an infected leg, I still did a show.
Right.
After surgeries, in between surgeries, remember I was supposed to take off. Casey and I think Max from 3 Geeks were going to host that episode, and I still came on.
Yeah.
Not even, and like, I swear to God, not for a controlling way. It was because I always said, I want to do this for 5 years. I want to put it through. So, I don't know. Now I feel like I'm talking too much about it.
Now producer Paul is going to take over episodes when Mick's sick, and it's going to be a shit show. Enjoy.
Oh, God. What do you mean you're taking over? When I'm sick. Oh, yeah.
That's what I meant.
You can.
I ain't taking over like that. No.
Oh, I did the 5 years. I'm not. The perfect attendance is over. We might even pre-record next week's episode, people. I'm sorry. It just is what it is at this point. I'm going to be very much a flake. I'm officially taking off the week of Christmas. Like I always do, but I don't. Right. We still record an episode. I still put out episodes for everything. Nope. I'm taking that week off. Sayonara. I love you all. However you're celebrating out there. And you can hang out with me on social media. I might game. I might start gaming. I might find time for gaming.
That'd be awesome.
It's like I reached 5 years of podcasting.
Fortnite with you. Hell yeah.
And first of all, it's not 5 years. At this point, it's 13 years of podcasting. But 5 years of the Scene Snobs Podcast, and I'm so goddamn proud of it. I love it.
Hell yeah.
My sister. Oh, I thought he was calling me out on being stuff. My sister's dealing with. Oh God, I'm so sorry for her. It's the worst. Yeah. We told go back and watch the old episodes for the Staghorn Chronicles.
Jesus.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah. Good luck. If you don't know what that is, go back and listen to the episodes. I explain it. I tell everybody in depth.
Don't look it up. It's gonna hurt your heart. It hurt mine when I had to look it up.
Imagine living with it.
I don't want to. Knock on wood.
You met me when I was like dying from it. Like I was going to get the surgery. Like the next month. Oh my God. I remember that was the first year of Carolina Fear Fest too. God, I fucking.
You still pulled through. You did amazing. I mean, I could tell something was up, but you still did awesome.
I thought I was a zombie, dude. I thought I was like dead. Like there was a point where like, and God bless him, a lot of credit to Casey. Like he helped me so much, you know, that weekend, and he, I'll tell you, he was flabbergasted because I was supposed to host the panels, and there were points where I was like, I can't move. Like I'm like my kidney is about to rupture. I can't move. It's so swollen. And man, he jumped on it and he did it. That whole CJ Graham, that whole CJ Graham panel. He had his laptop next to him with Messenger on, and I'm looking stuff up and just typing it to him to talk about.
And it looked flawless. It looked good. It just looked like he had done his research.
He's a great performer. An entertainer. So like, yeah, it just that was such a fun time. Well, and every year since, man, like this past year, freaking had a great time. And they celebrated 5 years, and we were celebrating 5 years, and I think I'm on a little high over it. I think we're here now. I was so afraid something was going to happen and this show wasn't going to go off live. That like the internet was going to go out or something. Like I said, like I was coming down to do the show. I'm like, I got a lot of time. My wife's phone was on the table by the door, and she's at soccer practice with my son. So I'm like, now I got to race over to the park. I didn't speed in the park. In the country roads, I did. So I did a little bit, but they encourage it. So we get to I get there, you know, Tommy running off to her, come back, and you know, I came back with like 20 minutes to spare, so I still had time to like prep my stuff. God, I was like, I swear to God, the internet's gonna go out. I was like, there was something about this episode. I was like, 5 years, and it lines up with 350 episodes. Yeah, this is jinxed, man. And I said that like months ago when I figured this out. I was like, I'm gonna blow up or something. Like
spontaneously combust on live. That'd be kind of cool.
Please, I don't want that.
I'll take it. I'll come back. Then I can haunt you. Then I could be the haunting for the 6th year.
I have a question for you. It's a good Halloween question.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Thinking about this, because I'm thinking that got me thinking about spontaneously combusting. First, it got me thinking about scanners. Then it got me thinking about the Howling.
Okay.
The ending, if you hear my stomach growling, it's because I haven't eaten anything all day. I've been running. So the Howling at the end when she changes on TV.
Yeah.
What supernatural creature, or it could be a cryptid, or it can be like a UFO, like what, like just some sort of other phenomenon type of creature, supernatural or otherwise, would you most like to see caught on camera first?
Ooh, that's a good question.
And possessions count too.
Okay.
But like I don't know how to prove it, but like there's definite proof in it, you know.
I think just because it'd be hilarious to see how many people ride with it is if they actually caught like a true reptilian actually turning into its reptilian self. Because then you got the hollow earth people going, you got flat earthers going crazy. Like it just opens so many doors where they actually have a slight truth base that I'm just going to sit back and love every second of it. So I'm going to go with that.
You know, I learned a lot about you, Paul, when you gave me your top 5 podcast today. Learned a lot about you. All of it good. No, but conspiracy theory wise, it got me thinking. Did you ever see a TV show called Brain Dead? It only got 1 season.
I did not.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Tony Shalhoub, and I forget who else was in it. I was so mad because I loved this show. I thought it was smart. I thought it was funny. It was kooky enough. And it was about an alien invasion. And the bugs are like as small as ants. Oh, no. And they crawl into the people and take over. But it was like a comedic sort of take on it. man, it was like, but conspiracy theory wise, you would have loved it.
Okay.
Like it would have been your jam for that. You know what I mean? It's because it's not quite reptilian, but like I thought that was an interesting element of it. Oh man,
that's how I felt about what is it, Resident Alien? I love the whole thing where where kids can see the actual alien, but the parents can't. I was like, that's a fun take on it. Like I enjoyed that part of it.
And how crazy, Alan Tudyk, man, he really kills it in that role. It's so good. I don't want to give anything away, but I'm going to say, watch it if anybody hasn't had a chance to check that show out. It's so funny too. He's so funny in that role.
Yes, son of a bitch. He just gets so mad.
Oh my god. Why'd you have to watch?
I kind of want to see what you're going to say about my weekend of debauchery that I know you're going to get me for.
Yeah. First of all, this is just the prelude. Just like this is like I want you to tell your story before I give any sort of review of it. But I want to say this: when you told me that you were out drinking until 6 a.m. with your buddies, and of course I know them as well. Like I'm like I remember, and I was like it hit me, and it's weird because we must be kindred spirits in a way where you did that Saturday and the Sunday, right?
Yep.
Saturday night, right?
Yeah.
I'm sitting on my couch. Sun's going down. It's beautiful. Like we have nice, high windows, in the back of the house, and it not like a fucking greenhouse. Like we have 3 windows that just happen to be a little higher. So I'm sitting on my couch. I could see the sky. And I love it because we keep the blinds all the way up. Sun's going down, nice sky, the tree line, everything. I'm like, this feels so nice. I got my drink next to me. I got my sweet tea. And I was like, you know what? The kids are like up taking a shower and a bath or something like that. Mary's doing something. I'm the only one on the floor. I did something because I was brought back to moments in my past. I love blues music. I don't talk about it a lot, but I do. And I'm not any aficionado. In fact, when it comes to music, I am by no means an aficionado. I know what I like. I know like the surface level. I'm not like with music. I'm not like I am with movies. Like,
right.
My wife knows all that stuff. There's a lot of people. You know that stuff. Trevor.
Trevor
I can't even.
Oh, God,
Trevor so introduced me to not brand new songs, brand new genres of music. Grindcore, vegan grindcore. That's what it was. Vegan grindcore, Brazilian death metal. And I listen to these things because I watch his stuff. So I'm listening to it and I'm like, this is real. Yeah. This stuff exists. And when I made a video about it, from some of our clips, it came back and there's so many people who are fans who were commenting. And I'm like, all right, cool, man. I was like, I don't care what you're into. Good for you, but listen, as long as anybody's not, if you're not hurting anyone, especially fucking children, I don't care. Dude, live your joy, man. Live your bliss. Right. Pray to God, go for it. You want to put on a dress and read books, go for it. I don't care. I think everybody should be able to live life the way they want. As long as it doesn't hurt anyone. Jesus, man. That's who I model myself as. I'm stalling right now because I know you really want to tell your story.
Oh, I don't even have a good storyline.
No. I'm just kidding. No, so it reminded me. So like I would sit there back in the day when I get drunk with my buddies and we'd stay up all night. We would always end up on sunrises, just listening to blues, drinking, and just talking and smoking, having a good time. And I just sat back because I had that moment where I was like, I had my drink and I was like watching this guy and listening to the blues music. It just felt so good. So when you said that the next morning, it made me jealous.
Oh,
it was nice. So tell me about your day.
All right, so let's take it back about 2 weeks ago, you guys.
Jesus
First
Christ,
time I
you
told
said a
Sturdy and
weekend.
Mick, did the same thing. Told Mick and Sturdy that I love them about 3 a.m. Sent them a message in our group chat. I was like, I love you guys. I was feeling sentimental. That didn't happen this past weekend. Anyway, so what happens is Brian and I got off work because we're working at Spooky Woods this season. So we got off about 12:30 or 1, and Matt's awake, and we're like, okay, do you want to come hang out just for a moment? And he's like, yeah, I'll join you guys. And then Matt pours a drink, and I was like, well, we don't have anything Sunday. I'll pour a drink too, and pour a shot for, Brian, whatever. And then all of a sudden it's like, all right, well, Matt's running upstairs real quick, and he's like, I'm gonna use the bathroom, I'll be back. And you have two options with Matt. He's either going upstairs and not coming back, or he actually is coming back. That's it. There's no in between. That's just how it works out. So I was like, I'll give him about 5 minutes. Let's see what happens. He comes back. And then it was on to the races. And we put on a mini golf or golf with friends. And then it was just nonstop yelling at each other, the screen, and ourselves, and putting down probably 3/4 of a fifth and just enjoying it. Then all of a sudden being like, oh, it's 6 a.m., you guys. I guess we probably should go to bed. And
God damn, I miss those days, man. I don't want to get hammered. I definitely don't want to get hammered.
Right.
Because there was a lot of those times I had those days and I wasn't hammered. You're just having a good time. So it's not about missing that, but I miss those days.
Yep.
Where you're just, let's do it. Let's party. Let's watch some UFC, place dollar bets, and then get wild enough to try and run up a hill or some shit for money. Now, if anybody's watching is wondering why I switched to one of our designs, that
was terrifying. I'm not gonna lie.
It was amazing. That was such a Snobtober thing to do.
Yeah.
You said you wanted proof. You're getting ghosts.
I don't want them. I said I'd be the ghost. I don't want it in my house. Mom, if you're watching, I need you to bless the house tomorrow. Thank you.
Listen, you're not getting lizard people. You're getting ghosts. They're already there. They're already in the house. Oh my God, is that Gray's? Oh, better not be. I'm putting that. So the reason I put the design up is because we were talking about drunk dialing, and that's my phrase right there. When I'm drunk, people are getting what's the strongest ship in the fleet.
Friendship.
And if you can't answer it, then you're not one of them.
Damn, I know I should have texted you guys something. That's what I'll do next time, because it inevitably will happen.
That's what it comes down to. That's where it's come from. Like most people just, I'll get texts. Like my buddy, I have to reach out to Joe, but like sometimes Joe will do that. What's the strongest ship in the fleet? Dude, let me ask you this: what is one of your most favorite? It could be any time. It doesn't even have to be one that exists anymore. But what is one of your most favorite inside jokes with a friend?
Can it be kind of like a stolen type? Well, I won't even say it's an inside joke.
You don't even have to tell me it's stolen. I might not know.
Oh, okay. So I had a group of friends, and we were obsessed with The Girl Next Door when that movie came out. Mm-hmm. And it was like a group of 4 of us, but we still called ourselves 3 legs of the tripod. And so we had a friend named Matt, just like we do now. So we'd always yell, fucker for me, Matt. And I still do that to my Matt all the time, probably too much, because, he gets embarrassed real quick, and I love yelling that in front of people, and they're like, what is happening?
Come on, leave that guy alone.
No.
That poor man. Leave him alone.
He's got it. He's stronger than he knows. That's why
he is. He doesn't need that. Don't do it when ladies are around.
It piques their intent. Like they're like, ooh, who? Is it me?
Maybe. No. See, here's the thing. Here's what you're not getting. Like, you challenge me a bit because I know you want me to like go get hammered with you guys and hang out. You, sir, are on. I see what path you're on. It's very similar to my brothers, and it's even so funny because he even drinks the monsters the same way. So,
shit.
So like I just see it now. Like,
surprise.
42, drinking. Oh God, drinking at 42. Mm-hmm. Like, I wouldn't be doing the same shit you're doing now. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because when you get to 42, it will be different. It'll be fun. It'll still be something, but it just won't be that. It won't be 6 a.m. No. I guarantee if it is, you won't be alive the next day for anything worth a shit. So don't plan.
Yeah, I was tired of shit. I drank like 2 C4s and a Monster just to feel human.
Yeah, it's starting. It started around your age too.
Who knows what the circus at like 22, 23? Man, I could drink a whole fifth next morning, smiling, good to go.
Get the fuck out. That was your 20s, dude.
Yeah.
That's not the same. You're proving my point.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I agree. I completely believe you because I always pay for it. I'm like, I'm fine.
Oh, so do like, whatever, get drunk, but like, do what Dan and Tim do. Like, start savoring it. so it's like you're enjoying it. It's like, I really like this whiskey. It has a musky scent or some shit like that. Something like everyone pretends is real.
I can do that.
Man. Sorry, Tim. I'm just messing with you.
Except I'm cheap, so it's always Screwball, and it just tastes like peanut butter, and I'm like, fuck yeah.
But pretend. Okay. Get a mimosa one day.
Okay.
Just be like, I'll have a mimosa.
I won't even know if it tastes bad or good.
It's like, this comes from the Florida orange groves of southern beauty area.
Central America.
Orange Grove. I don't know.
My mom made this back in Honduras. I know it.
Oh my god.
Those flowers, they smell familiar.
You maniac.
But while we're talking about this weekend, can I give a shout out real quick?
Of course.
All right. So in line, as you imagine, and anyone that's been to a haunt, there's a line. Well, one of the groups that was first come through was a haunt from Roanoke, Virginia. And those gentlemen were amazing. I love talking to them for about an hour and a half. They run a place called Orchard Hill Haunt. It's in Roanoke, Virginia. This man runs it out of his own house. He's in between 2 cul-de-sacs, and he has, I don't want to misquote him, but I think he said he's got 16 rooms he's made himself. And all the proceeds, if there are any donations, go to the Specca, the dog one, the animal one.
The ASPCA?
Yes, that one. It's amazing. He was showing me pictures. They were just great guys. So, if you're anywhere near Roanoke, Virginia, suggest checking them out. He says it's free. It's all donations. It's to a good cause. Nice. I would highly recommend it. They do their research. They're very humble about themselves. I couldn't get enough of them. Like, I was kind of sad after talking to them for an hour and a half that they were like, all right, because it's their time to go through. And I was like, fuck, no, I don't get to talk to anyone the rest of the night. But yes, that's cool. If you guys are near there, check them out.
See, you're getting there. Maybe it won't be whiskeys. Maybe it'll be just like pale ales, IPAs.
It's just whiskey or moonshine. I could do moonshine though. Ooh.
Oh my god, I can't wait till you start wearing collared like plaid shirts.
I do.
And like cargo pants with your mandals.
I'm wearing cargo shorts.
Oh my god. First of all, remind me of mandals when we talk about the first Salem's Lot.
Okay.
I have a lot to talk about that. Just that one area. Well, I don't wear mandals. I can't stand those things. I have Crocs. I like flip-flops, but they're terrible for my knees. Crocs as well. So I try to wear sneakers more than anything. But I often wear Crocs. Begrudgingly. I didn't want them. I have size 18 foot. Croc isn't for me. They're not making a moldable Croc for my foot. You know what they're making? The extra materials. That's what they're making for my size 18 foot. Yeah. 18 people. 18. I was size 14 in 8th grade.
That's almost 3 times the size of my foot, Nick. That's incredible. That's insane.
I'm a dinosaur compared to you.
Damn.
Oh, that hurts my heart. I remember when I was on the ERT team, they had to special order my boots. And
What's
they were
ERT? What's ERT?
Emergency response.
Oh.
So, they had to order my boots. They special order them. And god damn, like even when I left, they were just like, you might as well keep them. Yeah. Who's coming through with them? So I was like, cool. So I used them as snow boots for a long time.
Could have had some clown come in to teach the kids something. Just put on their shoes real quick.
Listen, I will tell you this. I No, I'm not doing that. I was no clown. I was no clown, sir.
You would be an awesome haunt actor. Now that I'm thinking about with your height and size, you would be terrifying.
I mean, I could be. Yeah, you give me a role, I'll do it. I mean, I'm not a great actor. And that's right.
I don't know that. But I don't know if I believe that.
I've definitely acted, but I'm not a great actor at all. That's the end of that. Let's move on.
Okay.
No,
okay.
I'm just kidding. No, I did. I used to act. I wanted to be in the business, like when I was young, writing and directing. That's what it was. And then I went to film school. And I'm not saying you have to go to film school to find this out by any means. I don't even fully endorse that. I think that's a case by case basis. But but for me, like going there, I was able to see some things laid out where I knew those positions existed, but I didn't realize how infatuated I was with those positions over just writing direct. Like writing's always been number one. I love writing. It's that's number one. But it became producing to do.
Right.
Over. Like I was willing to be like, well, I don't mind being a producer over that though. You know, I love, doing that as well. So like finding that was always nice. Right. I forgot how this conversation started.
Because I was asking if you'd ever be a haunt actor.
Oh shit. That's what it was. So it was acting.
Yeah.
The acting days. Dude, that's senality too. It's not even, everybody thinks I'm joking. I swear to God, I feel like it is. Losing my mind. So let's go for the next 5 years and see what happens. By 10,
hell yeah,
Paul will be spoon feeding me. It'll be great. So
fuck yeah. Oh my God. I'm a misery you just so you don't leave. That way we get to be together all the time. It's gonna be
okay. Just don't turn me into Grandpa from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay, how about Grandpa from House of a Thousand Corpses? No problem.
Come on.
I'll let you wear the Odin costume. Or no, he's wearing Loki. I'm sorry.
Listen.
Loki? One of them.
Let's continue my story, Sean. Yeah, I dabbled in acting for a bit, and not just in my short films, but there's other stuff too. There's plays. I call that my good-looking days.
You still look good.
No, but I mean, like I was washboard. When I worked for the post office, walking 10 miles a day.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Jesus.
I can see that.
Yeah, man.
Special delivery. I see it now.
Yeah. That's now you look at me and you're like, that don't fucking didn't walk 10 miles a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look like this now because I've slowed down. all those wonderful adventurous jobs back in the day have made it. So anyway, yeah. So that's the acting. So I could do the so my long-winded snobbish bullshit answer. Yes, I could do it.
You should.
I think I'm not good, but I could do it.
Terrifying. I swear to God. I'd be like, fuck.
I've been talking for 39 minutes. Bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's all coming from me, baby. It's all coming from me. No, but that was so it was a fun weekend. That's a win weekend in my opinion.
Yes. It's great. They're the haunt I'm at, they're beautiful, man. They're very family oriented, they're very loving. Everyone's there super nice. It's a good place to be. It's nice.
And what's the name of it again?
Spooky Woods.
Spooky Woods in North Carolina. Where in North Carolina?
Right there. Archdale, North Carolina. Right outside of Greensboro, about 20 minutes from here. Nice. They just celebrated their 30th anniversary on my birthday, on September 13th. So
September 13th. And ladies, he's a Friday the 13th baby. So he'll murder you. Yes.
If my wife doesn't first, one of us will.
With a hockey mask on. It turns into, all of a sudden turns into a really strange love connection video where it's just like, hey, he was born on Friday the 13th. and you're going to get machetes.
No, I want to use my hands. I like feeling it. You know what I mean? Like,
who says that? Who says weird shit like that?
I don't know.
Who jumps in on that? No, I want
child of adoption. Just saying.
Like
something about that.
Besides the pugilists and pottery people, serial killers, Paul. Serial killers say that.
We've talked about this numerous times. There are problems there. I am one white horse away from being on
Harry.
TV.
I'm not your Harry. All right. Don't be a Dexter. Kill no.
What's your no Honduran serial killers? No children or elderly people. That's it.
That's a. You
said moral code. That's it. That's my compass.
Wide range. That's a wide range.
That's a small section in between that I can like play with. That's not that much.
Just 8 billion people on the planet. Most of them fit between old people and children.
Yeah.
That's not that much. That wheelhouse.
Yeah, but all the credentials to meet. Can I get away with it? Is anyone going to miss you? Are you going to actually fight? Are you just going to lay there and take it and it's going to be boring? Like there's so much. You gotta find just a small niche.
Oh my God.
I've thought this through.
I don't know. I almost don't want to say this in case I'm implicated.
They're gonna pull up this episode in court. I'll be like, "Fuck yeah!"
Oh shit! I will totally rat you out. I will totally 100%. I won't. I'll tell them things I don't even know.
You'll make
I'll
up
just
shit.
be like, I'm assuming this. I'm assuming he did this. He said he likes to use his hands. I 100% want you to catch him before he finds me. I was like, if you don't catch him, I need him by Tuesday.
That's fair. You know how cool that'd be? I wouldn't need a background. Just be like prison window. Be some guys like shanking each other in the background. Shut up. Like,
I would interview every inmate if they'd be willing. Oh, that would be amazing. I'd be like, Paul, bring him in. Paul, who is this? They're like, we're gonna play Love Connection. Paul, this is Elvis. And Elvis thinks you're scrumptious.
Yeah.
So listen, Paul.
The Paul-barbecue.
Now think about that for a second.
Okay.
And don't murder anyone.
Okay. I haven't.
Very
I
good.
have not.
You said that in such a way that is convincingly to the other way that you've murdered it.
I haven't.
Oh, look me in the eye. Look me in the eye. Have you ever murdered or partaken in a murder of any human beings?
Not that I remember.
That's all I know, cops. That's all I know. I asked. This is you could chalk it up to an interview.
Nobody at my door in a minute and I'll be like, God, fuck.
You earned that one. Dude, the moment you said I'd prefer to use my hands.
It's
I'm
just
like,
an
you're not
honest
a
answer.
boxer.
Nah. But you see, and there's also a thing with using your hands because then it hurts you as well as hurting them. So it's like an exchange of pain. There's something nice about that.
That's so weird. It's not a thing to say.
Mick, there's so many sketch things about me, like my address on my license. It happens to not be the one I live at. That way it buys me time. It buys me about 10 extra minutes to get out of town. Just saying.
Paul,
yeah.
I want your Are you a man of your word?
Yeah.
I want your solemn oath that everyone that lives in my home right now is safe.
Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, no, absolutely. I would never hurt.
Never snap.
No.
Never come after me.
No.
Now, I want a second solemn oath. Don't murder anyone.
Okay. No problem.
Oh God. I just every time I look at you now, all I see is young Michael Myers, but from the Rob Zombie version. It's just Paul with the really blonde hair, long blonde.
I like it. It's like that picture from the /15 that I sent you.
The one that I thought you were talking about when you sent your mother's picture.
Holy God, that's funny.
So when I was just like, is that supposed to be you? Like, I thought you took another picture because I thought we were talking about the picture and the thing. I was like, wasn't brunette? You were blonde.
Yep.
That was a weird day, man. I was like, I think I offended his mom, but I didn't know she was coming up. Like it looked like a woman. It looked like your mom, beautiful woman. I didn't think it looked like you, but I'm like, is it? Is this what he's trying to show me? I had no clue. I'm like, are you trying to show me this? Is this okay? And then now I figured it out. Now I've jumped on board. Anyway, let's go. Let's talk about our 5 takeaways. We're going to talk about our top 5 podcasts. That's right. We did a mix. Well, I did. My only parameter is not all-time podcasts. I did my current top 5. Because throughout the years, there are some that have changed or ended and such that I adored and loved and I thought were great. But these are my top 5. We're going to start with our 5s. We're going to do it a little bit in a new format. So let me pull it up. Now, Paul, what was your number 5 again? Oh, that's
my
right.
My favorite murder. Yeah.
I was trying to mess with you. Talk about it, man. What's my favorite murder about?
So let me preference this, you guys, just to be absolutely honest with you. I absolutely love these 2 women read stories about murders that have happened. Some people just write in stories of they've come across serial killers or killers in their lifetime.
Oh, really?
Their family has. Yeah. So they read all these letters and stuff, and it's really enlightening, most of it, and it's cool. They bring a lot of attention to Eskimos and a lot of those murders that don't really get talked about out there, or failure of justice for those people. And I think they do a great job. With that preference, I listen to podcasts just like I watch movies to get out of politics. So if it's an election year, they will spend the first 25 minutes of an episode ranting about anything going on. And for me, it sucks. So yes, they are my number 5 and overall listen to, but this year, a couple months ago, I had to kind of stop listening to their newer episodes because it's all blah, 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 blah. And I'm listening to y'all to get away from it. I like what you actually do and your stories. And those 2 women are hilarious. So when they do that, it just kind of ruins it for me. So that's why I just want to preference that, you guys, just so you don't listen to the most recent episode. Then you're like, you said it was about murder. This is about politics. What the hell is this? No, go back. Or if it's okay and you're fine with listening to that, listen to it. I just want y'all to know.
There you go. My favorite murder is number 5. My number 5 is Horror with Sir Sturdy. Now, I'm sure some of you are like, well, he's like one of your best friends. I was like, yeah, I know. But it didn't start out that way. I actively sought this dude out. I wanted him to originally be on. I was such a fan of his show, which I found him during the pandemic. He's been going years before. So I watched the show on YouTube, and then I started listening over the years. And the thing I love about Horror with Sir Sturdy, for anybody who doesn't know or hasn't seen him on one of our shows or me on one of his or something, he does a show that just explores horror movies in a way that, unlike anywhere else I'm seeing it. I'm not saying other people aren't talking about the same movies, but for the most part, it's even I produced a horror show, and it was the same bullshit that everybody else is doing. Across the board, they're talking about the same shit, it's whatever top horror movie you want to talk about at the time, and that's what everybody's focusing on. The thing I love about Horror with Sir Sturdy, and I really want to build this up and sell it, is that if you're a horror fan and you're looking for new things, which I always am, I've seen a lot of movies, so I'm always looking for new things to watch, and I love recommendations and stuff like that, or stumble upons. Let me tell you, when it comes to Horror for Sturdy, he stumbled upon it. He really does. These horror movies, I found so much stuff, good, bad, and everything in between, that is just, but I'm glad I watched it. I'm glad it was new adventures and stuff like that. And his podcast is great because it's very laid back. It's very chill. It feels like you're hanging out with friends. So, the vibe we try to go for here. And I think that's why we all mesh really well. But yeah, I sought this dude out when I found his podcast because I wanted to do a show and I wanted him to be on my show. And that's how we became friends. But I was a legit fan. I love this as one of my top 5s. So our number 4 podcast is going to be Well, tell them about yours, sir.
So Let's Not Meet is, once again, people write in and they write in about weird experiences. Sometimes it can be like they almost get assaulted and they get away, or it can be someone be racist or a murderer, or, managing to get away if a rape happens or something like that. And then it always, it's the catch line, let's not meet. I hope we never meet, things like that. Instead of like misconnections, it's like mismurders type things or things like that. So it's very dark. And it's kind of crazy just hearing some of these stories, because, I feel like a lot of us have the awareness to stay out of situations. And even when people are following the right steps to ensure things don't happen, they still can happen. And it's crazy just seeing how little twists can just make a good situation a bad one. So I don't know, it's kind of eye-opening to an extent.
Paul, your list is suspect as hell, man. Especially with for anybody watching this clip, go back and listen to the whole podcast, because you'll find out why this is suspect as hell. You are a serial killer, sir. in waiting. You're like hibernating serial killer. Do you have like the ghost of like Jack the Ripper in you or something? Wait, like if you were a serial, no, we're not getting that. Number 4 on my list is the Sean Donahue show. I've stumbled upon him on TikTok. I found his TikToks where he's talking about parenting, and he gives amazing advice. He gives it from the different sort of being a different type of dad, and I love it. Listen, mine was a hoot. So, and I'm always trying to do something a little bit different, facetiously speaking. But Sean Donahue has really opened my eyes to like how to talk to my kids about certain things. And it's not gentle parenting. Like I know a lot of people throw that out there. He's not teaching gentle parenting. He's not talking about, his podcast talks about a lot more stuff. It's connection is what it is. It's the way, connecting with your kids. And say what you will, I've seen gentle parenting. My kids listen to me because we connect, and that's the advice he really gives. Like, one of his top pieces of advice. So if you're a parent and you want to learn some things, I really think checking him out, at least following him to see his videos. So going down the void of your list.
What's wrong with my list?
Number 3. Nothing's wrong with your list. No, that's not fair. It's not your list. Fair. These are all fine podcasts. Like I'm not saying nobody should listen to them. I'm saying the dark ass shit you said on our podcast earlier, leading to this. Man, this is making me rethink. And I made these graphics. I knew this was coming. Number 3 on our list. You want to talk about it?
Yes, those conspiracy guys, they are hilarious. It started with 2 gentlemen originally out of Ireland just talking about American conspiracies. It's funny how much they make fun of us and all this shit and the crazy shit we do. And even them talking about Irish heritage and just some of the things we have that they don't, such as they brought up condoms for one of their earlier episodes. They didn't have them till, I think they said like 98, which blew my mind. Something like that. Yeah, because the Catholic Church, how well instilled it was, they weren't allowed to, they had to like import condoms, like specialty buy them. Yeah.
Who?
The Irish in Ireland.
Oh, I thought you meant in America. I'm like,
no.
What are you talking about? I was using condoms by that point. I'm like, I mean, just to like say I was,
They're great.
I didn't mean to say that, especially in a clip segment, but whatever. It's the 5th anniversary, whatever. I don't give a shit.
Hell yeah. If I could recommend first listen to you guys, check out the one about the Warrens. I love their commentary about the Warrens because they bring comedy to it. So it's funny of them talking about how Lorraine figures out she has her abilities and just their take on it. Their accents are great. I'd say the first probably 4 years of their podcast is amazing. They kind of branched out, so the original 2 are kind of taking a backseat. And it's not quite as funny without Gordon as it was, but it's still in my top because I still listen.
Do they talk a lot of serial killer conspiracies?
A little bit. Seeing
a trend. So my number 3. These are great guys. I discovered them. Not discovered, by the way. that feels really like, but like when I say discovered, my self-discovery of listening to podcasts. That was where I went with it. So my 5 Cents Podcast, I discovered them for me as a fan. I think it was 2021. And I believe it was either 2021 or 2022. And that was before I was on their show. Or they were on, this show, and I gotta get them back. They're amazing. But I just had so much fun. So it's a podcast where they invite guests on, and based on the guests, excuse me, the guests' background, it could be anything, self-help, it could be, ministry, it could be movie podcasters, stuff like that. They kind of set the tone with the topic, and what they do is they each argue a point, they debate a point, and the guests will choose the winner. And it's just, but they bring so many great levels to it. There's a lot of things you learn about it through the guests, through them. There's a lot of back and forth while they're doing it. It's just a really well done show. It's one of my top podcasts, so I wanted to oversell them. And I realize I'm not going to oversell my next two because they're not. Well, actually, my next one's not. I did pick mostly indie because I mostly listen to indie. So please, if you understand that we are trying to oversell our fellow indie podcasters, that's why we're doing this. But number 2 on our list, and I won't oversell it, but I will say that, what I feel about it. Oh, yours isn't indie either.
No, not at all.
No. Wait, was yours, any of yours indie? Yeah. The first 3 were indie.
Yeah.
Not this one.
This one's great.
Do not mention the company name that this is with. You can just tell them it's on all podcast platforms.
I love Justin Long so much. So all I did was I literally just Googled Justin Long. Then I was like, oh, he's got a podcast, and I listened to it. I don't like it just because he has celebrities on it, but I do enjoy that it's just a conversation, and they'll talk about random things in high school or middle school and stuff. It's not. I feel like a lot of times with celebrity interviews or podcasts, you can tell it's almost scripted. They only talk about certain things. They watch kind of more of what they say. They're not talking about how they, peed themselves in a middle school musical in front of everyone when they were 9 years old, blah, 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 and how embarrassing it was and this and that or whatnot. I just enjoy it because I do like his voice. I wish they'd stop killing him off in any show or movie so we'd get more of Justin Long or not a sadness with them at the end. But I really enjoy it. I love his voice. His brother's funny because both of them do it. His brother produces it, I believe. It's just great. If you just want something to listen to or you have... Yeah.
He seems like a quirky guy for that.
Yes. Yep. And if you have favorite celebrities, look him up because he's probably interviewed them and learned something new.
Nice. Did you see 4:30 movie with him?
Yes.
Yeah. We'll probably review that one, so keep watching that. But my choice for number 2 is The Plot Thickens. It's the official podcast of Turner Classic Movies, hosted by Ben Mankiewicz. I love this podcast. It's like, I'm a movie guy, so I love that. I love watching Turner Classic Movies, just learning about it. That, Joe Bob, like so many of the horror hosts, really, because that's really who's doing it. Siskel and Ebert, all those guys, man, back in the day. That was my IMDb, besides books and magazines. Like any type of information I can get on about movies, like I want it. So, and that's how you got all that information. And I love Turner Classic Movies for that. Like between every movie, you're getting all this wealth of knowledge. It was always a great time. So that's why I love this podcast, because it's like I don't have to watch a movie now to get to the next bout of information. I just have that podcast. And the beautiful thing about this is each season covers a different sort of celebrity or industry professional. So one season was Lucille Ball. Another season was Pam Grier, which was amazing because, you hear a lot of these seasons and it's not, their subjects are dead, long dead, because it's classic. But Pam Grier is alive, and he got to interview her and talk to her and learn from her about a lot of things. So it was very cool to have that aspect of it too. But the newest season covers one of my favorite film directors of all time, if not my favorite, John Ford. And if you're interested in his movies or learning more about him, I definitely think checking out The Plot Thickens. And number one on our list. I think mine is indie, but I don't think yours is, and that's yours is Bad Friends, and mine is Double Toasted, which is interesting that we went with this for number one, both because they're friends. It seems like friends hanging out and talking, the different type of subjects, but that's sort of what they go with. But why don't you explain Bad Friends for everybody?
So I love them just because they're always in a good mood. They get me in a good mood. They're great for car rides or just while I'm cleaning or whatnot. They remind me of my friend group because we're not going to mention who's who. You can figure out the roles on your own, you guys, but one of us can sometimes be a hothead. One of us is over dramatic and we go back and forth all the time. So it just reminds me of just hanging out with the friends because it's all out of love. But they go in deep on each other and other people. And it's a typical Saturday night with the boys, which is awesome.
Andrew Santino's, they're both funny on it and they're both very good together. But yeah, Andrew Santino cracks me up though. He is he's a trip, man.
He's a ginger Matt Branch, I swear to God.
I believe it. Well, sounds like I'm going to be losing you to another podcast soon. So it's going to be Good Friends. Go look for them. But my number one is Double Toasted. If you don't know them, they were Corey, Martin, the whole crew is there. They have channel of shows, similar to like what we do. Them on a much different level. Like I look up to these guys. Like I really respect their reviews for movies and their takes on things. They had a great style of comedy. I was drawn to them because it's like what I do, and that's what I like to do. Very different, of course, because everybody has different ideas, but it was like the style and the vibe, like it felt really good to watch or listen to these guys because it just feels like everybody's welcome. And that's like kind of what we go for here. Even though it's the 5th anniversary and no one showed up. I told you I was going to bust balls on that. But that's the Double Toasted, man. If you haven't had a chance to check them out, they have a slew of shows, but they do have the Double Toasted podcast. You can go check them out. But I really do enjoy all their stuff, really. But that's our list, everyone. That's our top 5 podcasts for our takeaways this week. And you know what? Let's we're kind of running a little long, so we're gonna get started on our reviews. Thank you for watching. If you're watching the clip, go check out the full show. We're gonna start with Joker. I wanted to kind of cover this Joker Folie. Paul, have you seen the first one?
The first Joker?
Yeah. I assume you did because you basically wanted to live it in the early part of this podcast. I assume because that is such an. I'm not saying you're an incel by any means. That's not what I mean when I say this. But like that's such an incel movie. I could see you being generated by it, like wanting to kill people. Like it got the incels all revved up. So you're like, yeah, I'm going to drive my taxi with my army jacket and my mohawk. Take care of business. If you don't understand that reference, I swear to God.
Like I haven't seen Taxi Driver. Get the fuck out of here.
Damn right. I know you've seen Taxi Driver. We talked about it in the first part of the episode, even though we didn't mention that movie.
I was scared to fucking implicate myself anymore.
No. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to another psychopath. So Joker Folie follows the Joker movie from a couple of years ago. Listen, the first Joker movie, just give a quick review. I wasn't a huge fan. I knew what they were building towards. I understood it. I got the themes. I was just kind of like, whatever. And it wasn't the purest comic book fan in me or anything. I don't care. They made Jack Nicholson a Joker that basically was Joe Chill. And like, whatever. I can get past it. So this wasn't a big problem. I just thought it was not a movie that I really enjoyed. I'm just like I understood the point,
right?
But I thought, and I think what happened was the response to the movie. I was like, this is becoming, and it was not. That movie spoke to many different groups. not just the incel groups. Because I talk to other groups where they're just like, I identify with that. I'm like, what? Like, and like, listen, Paul, I know what you're thinking. We all know from the beginning of the podcast what you're thinking. We know where you're going with this. But it was the idea. It was the idea of who he was becoming. Which is, like, no, I'm above all this. Like, you served me. You cater to me. Especially like how he was treating women and how he treated others and stuff. Like he couldn't be overpowering on these other guys, so he was overpowering on kids. He was, overpowering on women and such. So it's just very. It was a good movie, and I know I'm not using the right words, but whatever. I'm a little stoned, but but this movie, you get into it, and I was like, I didn't love the first movie, so this movie, I'm like, I'll check it out, whatever. Mm-hmm. I have a theory about this movie, Paul.
Okay, let's hear it.
And before I talk about this theory, I want to hear what you think about this movie.
So I gave it a good rating for the most part. They lost a lot of points because I don't know why it was pushed so hard to see it in IMAX. But it was pushed hardcore around here at the Regal Theater. Like, you have to see it in IMAX.
That had to be the choice from the theater.
It had to be because I couldn't see one scene where I'm like, this probably would have looked better on a better screen. Fucking absolutely not. So you lost some points there. I don't like false advertising. Even though I love musicals and I absolutely love Frank Sinatra, you need to let people know this is about to be an 80% fucking musical because they weren't prepared. Like Matt was not prepared. He hated this mainly because he was like, I don't mind a musical, but I would have liked to know it was going to be a damn musical for almost an hour and a half. And it wasn't even good music for him. And I mean, I do agree with that. I don't know why. I assume it had to be because they got Gaga and they were like, all right, let's make it singing. I didn't like her as Harley. I didn't care for her. I still thought the performance Joaquin Phoenix put on, though, was great. I love the filtering they did, the shot angles and everything. So that's why it still got a solid rating from me. But I think unless you're into cinema, not just movies, but into cinema, you're probably not going to like this like a majority of people. But I think if you're into more things than just essentially, what's right before you, you will at least appreciate this movie.
No,
but yes,
I when I watched the first one, I always thought like this is for a certain type of man. This is poking fun at a certain type of man, but also saying that listen, and almost kind of like being a cautionary tale, saying like listen, certain type of man.
Right.
It could be mental health. It could be trauma. It could be this. You don't have. You can get help for it, but also showing how for so long a corrupt system couldn't get somebody help. Like don't be like, to me it was a cautionary tale in a lot of ways of like, don't end up like this guy,
right?
Because he's in a system that's not working for him. Like if you can make it work for you, you're in a different world now. I took that from that. That was an interpretation I took from that. So when I got to this one, I hated it the first time I watched it. Not because I knew it was going to be a musical. I knew when she signed on what it was and everything like that. Again, I was like, I don't care if they turn it into the Joker. Yes, I heard about the leak of what happened. And I wish I didn't. Not because I thought it was surprising, but because I just didn't care. Like it didn't affect me in that way. And then so I watched the first time, and that rating would have been a 2. And I'm going to put our ratings up here now. We both gave it a 3. Now, I gave it an extra point, and here's what I gave it an extra point for: my theory. And if it's ever dispelled, I promise you, I'll stop it. But I think that this movie is completely made by Todd Phillips to troll everyone who misinterpreted the first movie. To everyone, like, this isn't a good movie. It's a bland movie. It's kind of boring. I got why they're singing and there's no music behind it and they sound terrible. Even Lady Gaga singing with no fucking mics or anything, like, still sounds good. Like, it wasn't great, but it still sounds good. You don't have to like her. I'm just saying her. She's got a nice voice. So
I do like Gaga. I loved her in Star Is Born.
I liked her in this because she was exactly what she needed to be. That that smack in the face. Like everything that Arthur goes through in this movie is literally batting down his behavior from the last movie. And then even when they get to a point, and I don't mean to, I'm not going to spoil it, but even when they get to the point where like he builds it back up and the Joker is back and it's full confidence and all this, he gets knocked back down in a very horrifying way. That like again is another thing that's just showing him trying to make this man who thought by being this crazy persona, whatever it is, gave him unlimited power. It was completely stripped of it and completely made to feel and pathetic the whole time until they finally, at the end, there's a twist to it. I'm not going to share it, but he's not even what they say he is what I'll say. And you find that out in a really weird way. So that being said, I gave it an extra point because I really feel like Todd Phillips, in my theory, made this to say F you to the people who misinterpreted the first movie. And we're like, no, this is the way it needs to be, man. He's right. You know, like people pushing us around and taking our rights away and all this. And like,
right.
And like, so when they did that, he was like, all right, you want to be pathetic? I'm going to show you what pathetic is. And that's what this movie is. And here's the funny part about all of it. They didn't see it.
Yes. A lot of people didn't see it.
But overall though, I will probably watch this again. More to maybe dissect it a little bit. But it isn't a great movie and there's not a really good story to it. And I would fast forward through the music. But overall, I like the subtext, the themes and stuff, and that's that. So let's get to the horror because I know that's what you're after. So we're going to be doing something special tonight. Thank you for watching that review. Let's get on to the next review. We're going to be talking about right now. We're going to review 1979 Salem's Lot. We're going to kind of push through these a little bit to get to the new one, the 2024. So what we want to do is we watched all of them, all of the movies, 79, 2004, 2024, which consequently is pretty awesome because in 79 you got Salem's Lot. Exactly. Was it 35 years later you get was it? Yeah, 79 to 2004. 25 years later. So 25 years later you get the remake, and now 20 years later after that you get the remake. So like I like how it's rounding out a little bit. But this is a really good story. I remember really liking the book back when I was a kid. It was scary. Like it was good Stephen King. Like he was really like this one of his really early ones. And I always enjoyed it. And the thing I love about it is this movie, Salem's Lot, the 79, it does such a good job of encapsulating all of the elements Stephen King loves to put in his books. And that's the community, you know, all the inner circle like dealings and things like this, and the rumors and blah blah blah. I love that aspect, and the movies like really like capture that in them. I think do well. So this is one of my favorites for you, Paul. How do you feel about? Was this your first time watch?
No. Okay. I really love this one. This is probably my favorite out of all of them. That 2024 is almost runner up, but I still think this one holds true because am I allowed to talk about some of the differences? Just
yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. To me, this
spoiler one, at this point, people.
So this one's the most real to me because you can see that the climate is different. So the main vampire, when he throws that kid against the wall, like it's very forceful. It's very rough. Like you can tell, like he's like threatening him hardcore, and you can kind of see how in the other movies it gets a little different in how they portray that. It's still, oh yeah, you don't want the vampire to get you, and when he gets you, it's bad. But this one, it just seems very violent. So it was okay to, show that much kind of violence and hate on screen. And it's kind of gotten dummied down a little bit with some of the other Salem Lot. And I'm not saying, oh, there's no blood in the others or anything like that. But this one was just very, I don't know the correct word, but
no, I get it.
this one's my favorite just because it's set up that way, and it's very set up just to make you almost feel like helpless, because you're like, yeah, I could take the vampire next door. Then it's like, no, I couldn't. I could not.
Dude, I did. I really enjoyed this movie. This is probably my favorite of it too. I mean, we both gave it a rating of 4 out of 5. It holds up. I didn't watch it until the 90s when the VHS came out and you got to 2 VHS tapes. Yeah, even like with the 2004, it was 2 DVDs. And I have the DVDs. So, I like all versions of this. The 79 version is actually the first Stephen King adapted miniseries.
Okay.
And now, if you know anything about Stephen King, he's had a lot of those. So, and it aired in CBS in 1979. And it was just one of those movies that was like so different. You didn't I'm not saying they didn't have horror-esque movies or horror movies even sometimes as TV movies or miniseries, but not like this. This was pretty scary. Kids were involved, things like that. This was a whole new element. And they did such a great job with it. I think, in my opinion, story-wise, this is the best version of all. That might change. But yeah, so I did like this. Let's move on to the next one because I don't want to get bogged down on any individual one except the new one. 2004, Salem's Lot. Yeah, I'm super excited for this one. So I like this version. I liked this a lot. This is one I remember when this came out and I watched it live. I thought it was well acted. I thought it was well adapted from the original and the book. Because they took more out of the book than the original did, or not maybe took more out of the book. They actually did because there's some narration in it, but which I wasn't too keen on, but whatever. They took more from the book and built more off of the book, I should say. And they did a really good job with it, I thought. I do really enjoy this version. I would love to hear what you think of it.
I enjoyed this version. I feel like this is probably my least favorite of the 3.
Really? Okay.
I think it might just be, I mean, I did just rewatch it, but I think even at that time when this one came out and the reruns that they would do on TNT of this, I just didn't care for it because they kind of lost me in the story. Like the original Salem's Lot, I could watch that at, say 9 to 13 years old and still enjoy it. But this one, it felt talky to me for whatever reason. So
I got you.
It kind of lost. Yeah. It just kind of lost me a little bit. I love Sutherland. All the acting is solid in this. After rewatching it recently, yes, I like it, but I still think if I were to suggest one, I'd still go with the original above this one. And this one would be number 2 for me, just for me. But.
See, James Mason in the original is so menacing. And I liked it. And the vampire for the time, like he's goofy now, but going for like a Nosferatu thing, something a little different that worked on TV. But it just, this movie had such great villains. Donald Sutherland as Straker, and even changing it up from the monstrous look, which we go back to in the 2024 version of Barlow, to Rutger Hauer. I was like, they played it so well, and they were pretty dark. In fact, my one biggest gripe about this movie would be that there wasn't enough Rutger Hauer.
Okay.
I thought Donald Sutherland was in it quite a bit, and he did a great job. Knocked it out of the park. Very creepy. In fact, might be my favorite Straker on screen, with James Mason being second. The freaking what's his name from Game of Thrones, whatever, but we'll get there. So let's give our ratings for this one. But yeah, I do really enjoy this. I try to rewatch this maybe every 10 years or so. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, and you gave it a 3 out of 5. So
yeah,
I still think people should check it out. If you're on a kick for Salem's Lot, I think this is a good one to kind of check out as well. Because there's a lot of adaptations of them. So let's thank you for watching this one, and let's check out our next one, and that is the Scene Snobs Review Salem's Lot 2024. What'd you think of this one, Paul? Spoilers.
I immensely have been enjoying this one. it gives me hope for them doing a Pennywise, because they did it right. They kept it dark. They didn't add too many crazy elements. I always get nervous with any HBO things because, as we all know, whether we want to admit it or not, they really like throwing in sex and adding shit that doesn't necessarily belong into it. So I was sitting there worried that they were going to make some of the scenes over the top sexual or things like that. And I was going to be like, fuck, man. But I think they did it right. The coloring's right. You know, it kind of reminded me of James Wong's original, or not original, but first Conjuring. Like, it kind of has that feel to it and stuff. So I was very glued in the second I turned it on. Action's good. The vampire, you know, it's very believable. And you're like, oh shit, like what's going to happen? I think they did it right. This gave me hope about them kind of redoing a lot of these things. So,
well, I will tell you, this is my second. I watched it twice now. Let's just say, okay. When it first came out, and I watched it for Sunday Scares on Sunday, and I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. It's my least favorite of these three.
Okay.
And honestly, if I'm throwing in Return to Salem's Lot, or Return to Jerusalem's Lot, it's my fourth, because I love that fucking movie. I love Larry Cohen and I love Michael Moriarty, and I will watch campy 80s vampire movie that tries to be Salem's Lot so bad over anything. I love it. It's so good. So anyway, fourth. It'll be fourth. But I liked it. I liked this movie. Every part that is adapted from either the book, which this seems like it was kind of more adapted from the book than the original movie, but it hit right. And on top of that, so like all of those scenes, like the scenes with the morgue, with the, like, that was a great adaptation. You had to shorten it. You had to shorten your characters that you have in it. Alfred Woodard is just great and everything, but I liked Lewis Pullman as Ben Mears in this. Like, I liked everybody in it. My problem was it was too, I don't think it was done right. And the reason that it wasn't done right is because you have all of these adaptations. Now, you not just throw in 1979 or 2004, or even like the sequel, the off sequel that's not really anything like it. You also have Chapelthwaite, which is a TV show, which is a direct. It takes place back in like turn of the century, 1900s, 18 to 1900s, but it is a direct adaptation of Salem's Lot, and in my opinion, the absolute best adaptation of Salem's Lot is Midnight Mass. Midnight Mass on Netflix is brilliant. Is brilliant. Like, if you're going to watch anything and try and understand, and it's the craziest part. Now I understand why it's called Crockett's Island in that thing. There's so many Easter eggs for these movies. Not this one, but the other two movies in this in the Midnight Mass, which, again, if you do like Salem's Lot, and I realize I'm pitching you a TV show over a movie that I'm supposed to be reviewing, but that tells you something. Watch this, have fun. It's a fun monster movie.
Yeah,
it's a good, quick vampire movie with some plot holes and no real character build or town build. That's the one thing that I think really misses in this, is like the town is a character, and you hear the stories of the town, and the Marston house is important, and they don't even end it there. They ended it at a fucking, which I get with the budget constraints and stuff like that, and I love the drive-in. Burn down the goddamn Marston house at least. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, let's give our ratings for this one. So I gave it a 3. You gave it a 3.5. I do say check it out. I think if you're a horror fan, you'll really like it. Yeah, check that out. Let us know what you think. Sound off in the comments. We would love to hear it. I did like it. It's just anything after Midnight Mass just isn't the same. I love that it wasn't a direct rip. It wasn't a direct rip. It wasn't a direct adaptation because it couldn't be. He made up his own shit, and it's somehow the best.
Yeah,
no wonder he's directing Dark Tower. Dark Tower is going to be better than Stephen King wrote it when the show comes out. I believe
so,
that about Mike
movie
Flanagan.
sucked.
You can't count the movies. This thing had nothing to do with it. And they didn't adapt it right. And don't worry, when the show comes out for review, we're not watching the movie. Here's the funny thing. I didn't read the books, and I didn't mind the movie because I didn't understand it.
Oh.
Definitely understand that. Definitely get it now. And robbed. I'll just say that. But thank you. That's been our review of all the Salem's Lots and our comparisons. But let's talk about Mick's movie pick for 1925. That's right, everybody. I went with a silent picture for Halloween. It's Snobtober, and I brought Phantom of the Opera from 1925. Beautiful music, great acting, great story. Check it out. We have classic film review coming out this week. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Sound off in the comments. Share it out. Tell people about it. We appreciate it. But that's it. My mixed movie pick is The Phantom of the Opera from 1925. Of course, this month we're going to be talking about horror movies, classic film reviews, things like that. But yeah, I'm super stoked, sir. But I want to thank our sponsors. Thank you to all our sponsors of this video: Entertainment or Shopify, Sticker Mule, StubHub, Skillshare, and Noom. All my links are down below in the description. Please go check them out. We really appreciate you guys for sponsoring the show and hanging out with us. And guys, if you see any of the designs we're wearing, stuff like that, you can check them out over on snobsmerch.com. We have more. We have Star Trek stuff, movie stuff, all types of stuff. All made. You can go check it out. Let us know what you think. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining in, being a part of it, because when you are a part of it, you make a part of it, if that makes sense. We are doing a giveaway, by the way. As you can see, the Beetlejuice popcorn tin and cup right behind me. All you have to do is join up. We're going to be doing it on October 31st. I'm going to do a quick live spin the wheel for the 2 names. 2 lucky patron members, either free or paid tiers. So go head over there, and we appreciate everybody who's been signing up and stuff like that, and even the paid tier support. There's perks for everything. You can get our newsletter, stuff like that over there. But we have tons of stuff. But we are doing a giveaway. 1 lucky winner is going to win the popcorn tin, and another lucky winner is going to win the cup. Thank you guys so much for being a part of it and supporting us over there. And I want to say thank you for 5 years of just support and being around and being part of Snob Nation. And I love you guys. I know we went long today, and I appreciate you staying the whole time. But yeah, Paul, what do you guys say, man?
Hey, you guys, make sure to keep listening. Keep loving the magic of movies. Keep listening to us. Thanks for letting me be a part of this last year of your 5 years. And I look forward to the next 5 years.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. I just thank you so much, all of you, for being a part of it and connecting with me and supporting the Scene Snobs. This has been amazing. And I just truly, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate it. And I do mean it when I say, we love movies, and we know you do too. So join us, Snob Nation. Thank you, guys. I love you. Remember to be kind, stay spooky, because it's that time of year, and take care of yourselves.